on your committee work and year plan. Go ahead.
I can start. Hello? Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes, Lumbe, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So I'll just give an overview of what we've been discussing and our year plan for the year. So far we want to, we're taking part in a capacity building workshop to discuss how young people can be involved in the development of the Sustainable Development Goals. So this is all in the context of governance and accountability and transparency. And this workshop will take place in South Africa um, this month actually. It's starting on the 28th till the 3rd, and I'll be representing the AYM, I guess, but also I'm representing the governance and accountability task team that I'm a part of. So I will give feedback on that as soon as I get more information, but the trip is at the end of the month. Then also, we're hoping, I'm trying to get more information on the Copenhagen consensus. That's also another way of involving young people on governance and accountability initiatives. And it's about having different workshops in different countries to have a way of getting young people's voices to the UN General Assembly for this year, where the the goals are being prioritized for the Sustainable Development Goals. And then also, uh, we'll be part of a team that's launching an advocacy toolkit for young people on how they can engage in the intergovernmental negotiations, also within the same context of governance. So this launch, I'm not really sure when it's going to be because we're still giving feedback on the toolkit itself. But this is also something that's going to be shared with AYM members so that people can see how they can use this in their own countries, within their own context and the context of their countries. And then also we're working on a form of data visualization in which we find a way to present data in a way that's accessible and engaging for young people so that they can find a way to be a part of decision making and governance processes. So this is basically it, but I'm still updating on the events that are coming up this year. Some I'm not sure of the dates, but I'm still updating the database. So far I've done the goals and the description. And so all that's left is just to fill in the blanks to the events that are coming up, the delegates that have been picked, and yes. So that's my feedback.
Thank you, Lumbe. And I think Isa joined us, right? Isa, can you hear us? You should unmute your mic to speak. Isa, can you hear us? Just unmute your mic. Just click on the mic in order to speak. No, we can't hear you yet. Okay, can you speak now? Isa? No, we don't hear you. Please try again. Okay, try again and let us know. Thank you, Lumbe. And for the workshop, I think Derek is with you as well, right? Yeah, Derek is the webmaster for our website, so he's also an AYM member. So it would be, yeah, it would be great if you guys send us the updates, and then if we publish something on the website, it would be you and Derek participating, etc.
Great.
And if you can also put that event, because I think it's the first event on the list of the events you have already did.
Yeah.
Okay, we will go around, but just my question is general for everybody, not only for your committee, but is how to get participants for the event you already listed. But let's talk about that after we all have updates. Isa, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes. So you are
Okay.
connecting from two Don't do AYM.
Yes, I think I'm using AYM, correct.
It's fine. It's okay. Just mute your mic when you don't speak, so we don't hear any noise around you. And Nasta, you just joined as well. Can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, perfect. So just mute your mic if you don't speak. We are now doing the first point on the agenda on having feedback from all the committees on their work and year plan. Who wants to go next?
Maria.
Go ahead, Maria.
Okay, thank you, Aya, and I'm very pleased to meet all of you. On behalf of the Peace and Security Committee, I would like to share to you our yearly plan. The first thing on our plan is a monthly social media discussion on key peace and security issues in Africa, and we'll be focusing on issues like Somalia, South Sudan, Boko Haram, Niger, Mali, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Al-Shabaab, and the Arab Spring Revolution. The second key activity we want to do is to create create a forum for young African leaders in NGOs, civil society organizations, public services, young entrepreneurs. And this forum will be entitled Young African Leaders Forum to discuss different problems and challenges with regards to peace and security of their respective nations, and in particular, and Africa in general. And also such forum will enable these young thinkers to influence decisions and make policy recommendations on key programs in line with in line with their national security and regional security guidelines of their respective countries and the AU. Our third activity will focus on attending international conferences on peace and security. I know, Aya, you asked us how we intend to do this, and we came to an agreement that for those who are out of the country, if a member sees a conference in the domain of peace and security, the member can attend and write a report with photos included, which will all be published on the AYM website or magazine. Hello?
Yes, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the fourth plan activity is to organize capacity building workshops at the local level. Here we encourage members who are based in their home countries and have access to their communities to organize a workshop to empower and build capacity at the grassroots levels on the necessity for peace. And workshops will be based on the importance of peace education, negotiation, dialogue, and indigenous means of conflict resolution. The fifth thing is we want to introduce peace and security internal policy paper, which will be titled African Focus, on these key issues such as how can Africans solve their differences without resorting to external actors, common interest versus personal interest, gender sensitive and conflict transformation in Africa. Then we'll also look at terrorism and counter-terrorism. What is our African perspective in terms of conflict, peace, and security? We'll look at Eurocentrism versus African centrism, and what is the impact for African challenges. And we also like to look, in line with the recent AU summit, we want to look at proposals on how AU can finance its activities by itself, and what are the capacity for strategic negotiation by African leaders. On this, our internal policy paper, which is called African Focus. And the sixth issue we want to do is do on research and publication. On this, the committee will write monthly articles, might be twice a month or once a month, on key peace and security issues to be published on the website, and the final collection which will be edited will be published on the AYM magazine at the end of the year. We also like to organize, the seventh point is to organize an online international event on the social media with experts, consultants, young African leaders in the field of peace and security to discuss the challenges and find solutions to African problems. The eighth issue is on culture of peace in Africa. This is in line with the adoption of the AU promotion of peace culture, and the committee will organize monthly an activity culture of peace where Africans from different cultural heritage will discuss online what are the cultural elements of peace in their different ethnic groups, how is peace conceived in their local languages and cultures, what are the cultural elements that bind them as a community, what are the local systems of conflict resolution in different communities. The ninth thing is the ninth element or activity which we will work on. It's an online campaign on the rights of indigenous peoples, minority groups, and refugees from conflict-affected zones. And our the key people want to look at how children and women can be rehabilitated and integrated in such areas. And the last thing we want to look at is to promote democratic elections in Africa. Discussions will be raised and proposals on how Africa can initiate peaceful democratic change during elections. I think that is what the Peace and Security Committee has for now, as our yearly plan of activities.
Thank you, Maria. I wanted to ask, before I ask Maria, I want to ask, I've seen Emma is in the room. Is Emma in your committee, Lombe, right? So I'm not sure.
Hi, yes. I was unwell the past 2 days. So hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I cannot mute anybody's mic because 3 people are signing up. It's AYM. So I really lost how in muting people. If somebody can mute Francis, Isaac, Anne, or Nasha, please mute.
How do I do it?
Okay, he's been muted.
Yeah, he's been muted. Okay. Just click on his picture and then you will find mute.
Yeah, I've done it.
Go ahead, Lombe.
Okay. I was saying that he's my deputy chair. So the past 2 days I was unwell and I asked him to stand in for me. But then from Sunday he wasn't replying to my emails. And so today I told him, don't worry about it, I'll attend the meeting. But then he still joined the meeting, so I don't know. We must be having a serious communication breakdown. But yeah, he was supposed to attend, but then he didn't respond to any of my emails. So it's fine. I told him I'm here now, so it's not necessary for him to attend.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so Maria, thank you so much. As I told Charles, I sent him some comments on your year plan, and I told him that it's great, but it's a lot of work, 9 activities. So I think besides the 2 main activities, which are the events that you will send people to attend and then see what kind of impact they can do in the conferences they attend, and beside the online discussions, which are the Google Hangout that everybody's doing, I would say just focus on 3 main activities for you as a committee. So that you decide yourself, but I think one of the things that maybe you don't have to focus a lot on is organizing a conference, because that will consume a lot of your efforts in finding funding and in selection and in organizing. And I don't think that's the best way we can impact, because there is a lot of conferences already happening. But once we have enough resources, we can organize such big events. So maybe that one should be on a later stage. And instead, you can focus on 3 main things. I think that writing the articles, it's a nice idea. to report on very like issues that happen right now, like terrorism and things like that. And you mentioned also some, oh, that's Francis. And you mentioned other suggestions about how to build a culture of peace in Africa. So if you can develop more on 3 major points, concrete actions you can take as a committee without a lot of work, but you can make it concise, precise, and effective, that would be great. Instead of doing 10 things and then we cannot really achieve much on them, on all of them by the end of the year. Okay, so who wants to go next? And I will take Francis from the Skype.
I will go next because I have only like 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes. Can you hear me? Okay. So I'm Anne, and I am heading the Committee on Agriculture, Economy and Trade. So I've been having a lot of problems connecting with my committee members. So at the moment, we've already set our calendar, but we haven't put it in the Google Sheet. It was supposed to be put by Cyber after we sent the person who wrote the minutes. After Oluchi, who wrote the minutes, was to send us the minutes so that we can get the calendar on the spreadsheet. So, but basically on our calendar, we are focusing mainly in topics on agriculture, because we don't have many people in economy and trade. The only person in economy and trade did not attend the calendar meeting, so we are short of those topics, but we kept it open so that we can always like update the calendar to fit in the issues of trade. Well, on our major activity on the calendar is basically improving agriculture in Africa. We are looking into climate smart agriculture, we are looking into policies in agriculture, we are looking into how like the crisis that is affecting the agriculture industry. Okay, well, basically agriculture, economy and trade. And for that reason, we are in agreement that most of us, okay, this is through our email link, that we would request like AYM, especially Aya, please register the AYM as an entity so that we can be able to focus on funding. For us, we want to focus on funding for small projects among the youths, because that is our area. There's a lot of funding in agriculture that we've already recognized and identified that we would like to apply for. So our biggest challenge is we don't have a portfolio. We do not have a memorandum of understanding. We don't have an article of association for us to be registered as an entity. I do not mind registering the Committee on Agriculture here in Kenya, but you have first to register the AYM as an entity itself. So, well, basically, we are also looking into attending more conferences. We haven't identified the conferences yet, but we've set a meeting for that. And we're also looking into, basically, we're looking into getting into organizations. So we've been outsourcing for contacts in different organizations, mainly to take our committee members to become like representative, especially in their host countries. And yeah, basically that's what we as the Committee of Agriculture has done. And yeah, I think that's all I needed to share, but I will share in the next meeting in details, because we have lagged behind. I think we are like the last committee event to set a calendar because we're having problems with people and connections, network connections. Yeah, that's all I needed to say.
Thank you so much, Anne. Regarding the registration and funding, I don't think AYM will be registered soon, but if you need funding for certain projects, which I need to know the projects first that you need funding for, we can apply for that funding through our NGOs. We have NGOs members of AYM through which we can apply for funding. So it depends if the funding is directed to African countries or certain African countries, not all, or if you need some NGO from Tunisia or from Kenya or from Cameroon. It depends on where the funding is going, what's the criteria. We can find you an NGO through which you will apply for the funding and you will have your independent projects. That's how we will work. So it's not, it will be a project part of AYM and on behalf of AYM, but it will be through another NGO. So just, I think first you should agree with your committee on the projects you want to do, and then the funding opportunities you want to direct to, and then send that to me, we discuss it, and then I will connect you with the right NGOs through which you can apply for funding and get your project running, okay?
Okay. Well, our focus was not mainly on the project to be done. In the agriculture sector, you find that a lot of the organizations are calling for proposals. So we wanted to apply for funds through this call for proposals for money. There's like a lot of it. Okay, for my region that I know, for my region that is East Africa, we have a lot of call for proposals that are coming in so that we can apply for funding for agricultural projects. So we haven't identified any project yet. We just thought that we needed to be, you need to be a legal entity for you to apply for any kind of funding. And we don't even have a kind of an agreed project. We don't even have membership into this project. So I was just bringing it as a way forward before we get there. It might actually take us 1 year before we get our first project, but I'm open to being in connection with other NGOs for us to run our project. I just hope we are not going to be swallowed by these NGOs.
Yeah, thank you so much for, it's actually a great point, and thank you for raising the funding again, because I think 2 or 3 committees did raise the funding issue again, but I would say again, like I said in the first meeting, AYM is not an NGO, it's a movement, and it's meant to connect the youth and support them. So it's not, it's like the Pan-African youth is not a movement. Like many movements going on are not a registered entity, and they're still running. That's just to give an example that it doesn't mean that we cannot operate if we're not registered. Registration means we get funding, and then getting funding means a lot of things, and then we have to choose the funding, etc. The way we can move forward with it right now is, as I said, to apply through other NGOs who believe in AYM mission and who can support us. So we will not be depending on them. We will have a certain agreement with them that if we get this funding, we will run the project, and it will be AYM project. It will be your committee project, okay? And this doesn't mean that we will not register in the future, but it's not a question to be talked about or raised right now. It's very early. But thank you so much for raising it again, and I hope it's clear for everybody who are putting projects that needs funding on their agenda. If they want to apply for projects that are, you can apply as grants, and grants don't need formal registered entity, but just informal groups. But if it's a big funding that requires a registered NGO, then we can go case by case and connect you to NGOs. Thank you, Anne. And if, I don't know when you have to leave, but I hope you can join us as much as possible. And then whenever you feel have the new meeting and you need to leave, just let us know, okay?
I'm actually leaving now. It's like 15 minutes to 2. So bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Who is next? Who wants to share on the committee? On their committee work?
Can I start?
I would go.
Yes, Asma.
Okay.
Sorry, Isa. Let's have Asma.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, Isa.
No problem.
Hello? Aya, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your voice is very low. If you can raise your voice or put the mic close.
Sorry?
Yes.
This is better?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So our feedback on our committee. Our year plan is ready, but it is not sure till now because it's maybe changed according to speakers, and we are yet to finalize on key events on gender equality for the year. We plan to have our own campaign along the year, but we are not decided what to specify campaign for till now. We are still talking to know. And about our Maggie evaluations for members, and she said that the vice chairperson Francis has never been in touch with her, and she sent him more than email and he didn't respond. And
Basma,
the
sorry to interrupt,
yes,
Basma. We will talk
yes.
about the numbers in the next point. So if you can just update
Sorry.
us about your plan. Thank you.
Yeah, our plan is ready. I think Maggie sent you a copy from it, or you want me to send one?
No. She sent me a copy, but if you can briefly say what are your three main focus or activities?
Yeah, we are planning to make more than a discussion with activities in Egypt or an Arabic world to talk about topics like gender in politics and governorate, history of gender inequalities, why we choose gender equality, and the benefits to be convinced with the gender equality, gender sensitivity with project gender and technology, women and social media and economic participation, women and gender realities. So we have a very big plan to do this year. Um, I hope you like it.
Okay, thank you. I heard about something you want to do a survey or something like that.
Yeah, we are planning to do a survey as a start. It will be this month in February. So it will be in three languages, Arabic and French and English. And then in the last of the month, we will prepare the results and to know how to start with dealing with the youth.
Okay, thank you, Basma.
Yeah.
Okay, Isak, you can go. You can go ahead. I mean,
Okay. Can you hear me now?
yes, I do.
Okay. My name is Isaac. I'm the chair for the technology on. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm chairing the Committee on Technology and Innovation. And our committee is focusing on how we can lead discussions to promote the use of technology in tackling African problems. And then also we would also want to focus on improving lives and enhancing our economic development. For our year plan, we have the monthly hangouts, and these hangouts we focusing on three main areas. For example, science and technology policy in Africa, and also we have topics that touches on ICTs, how we can use ICTs to build our economy. For example, we know in our continent, ICT infrastructure is developing and there are more opportunities. So we have topics that focus on how we can turn ICT ideas or technology ideas into business or entrepreneurship. And this we would collaborate with the Committee on Entrepreneurship and Employment. I was in touch with Stella about an hour ago, and she mentioned her committee was very impressed with our idea. And we would, in the next few days, we would have a meeting to cross-fertilize our ideas. And also, we want to build a newsletter by the end of our tenure in office, which is dubbed the AfriTech newsletter. The AfriTech newsletter is meant to expose stories in science and technology around the continent. We are looking at areas in ICTs, automobile development, manufacturing, and other areas also like uh, university research, science and technology policies in Africa. And we would focus on receiving articles or ideas from
I think we lost him.
hello.
Yes.
Okay.
We hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, yeah, I lost connection. Okay. So, as I was saying, we would focus on these key areas for our newsletter. And our main contributors would be the AYM members and also our committee members. And this we hope to achieve by the end of the year. In addition, we would want to focus on skills training, like seminars and training programs. For example, coding, learning how to code, starting from the basics, and also giving some ICT training skills to our members. I'm in touch with some people who are expertise in these areas, but I'm yet to get a word on that, whether they will be available for such skills training or seminars. So, in short, these are the few areas our committee would like to focus on and execute by the end of our tenure in office. And sorry, lastly, we also I mentioned something about policy institutions. So we want to have something like a collaborative program to where we can share ideas on how African governments could build their science and technology policy. And so one of them is going to be the African Institute of Science and Technology under the African Union.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in short, these are our year plan.
Okay. Thank you so much, Isaac. I always say Isaac, but it's Isaac. Sorry.
Um, no problem. The Germans actually call me Isaac, so I think you're on track.
I'm half German then. Okay, so for the AfriTech newsletter, do you mean by newsletter that you will give updates every month, or do you mean that you will post blog posts every month and then collect them at the end of the year?
Thank you. Well, initially the idea is to collect them at the end of the year, then we can put them in a newsletter. I think this will also serve as a source of advertisement for AYM. The monthly blog posts could work, but I'm not sure if we can get these blog posts timely from our AYM members. That is a problem. Um, so we think if we start to collect these articles by the end of the year, it could, I mean, we'll be on a much safer side than to put a time frame to be updating the blog monthly because we don't know our main contributors yet. And
Okay,
to add this also, our idea in the future is to move from a newsletter to a magazine. So, and then this magazine will be called um, Africa in Tech magazine. So, we want to move gradually to build on this newsletter to achieve the bigger picture in future.
okay, great. And for the, you said trainings, you want the members to be trained.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's a question, right? How?
Uh-huh. Well, we have these online tools or online seminars that I have participated and I've seen also a lot being organized around. And so we want to focus on a topic like coding or hackathon, and members who are interested in this skills training or program could participate. Um, it will be like, I don't want to say like to be like a curriculum where we develop a plan, but at least there are some learning tools that we can provide our members within reach. And
Uh,
uh,
sorry. Hi, guys.
I think someone is online.
Yeah,
Stella, I think
Stella,
Stella is
yes.
online. Yeah.
Okay, hey Stella. Sorry, you can unmute your mic and speak. Stella, I thought she had a meeting. Okay, so thank you, Isaac. So if you can add those trainings to the list of conferences and events that people have to join. So maybe we can have a certain list of trainings where we can help your committee members or the people you want to join these trainings to attend. So we can help them in the application and in getting there, but they will have those skills if you think the committee needs that. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
For the newsletter, I still think it's a great idea to turn it into a magazine by the end of the year, but I think we have to develop more the idea, and if you need to launch a call or like talk more on how you want to go about this, because the idea is nice and great, but how to go about it in a time frame of this year. And on my side, we can have a page for the Afritech, I don't know how, if you want to call it newsletter, because a newsletter is something that goes on every month with updates, or every week with updates of different topics. That's what a newsletter. But as I can see, it is not really a newsletter, but it's some kind of articles or posts that you want to collect by the end of the year, and that could be turned into a magazine. But maybe if we can have a call every month of 3 or 4 contributors. Anyway, I don't have the answer, but it's just for you to think about how to develop this idea of the Afritech magazine or newsletter or whatever your committee would like to call it or to decide on it. Okay?
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Who wants? I think Nesta is left to update us. Just unmute your mic. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Nastum Biancash, and I'm the chair of the African Union Affairs and Regional Coordination. Up to now, we have not finished our yearly plan, and we are still doing it. We have a little problem on connection networks. That's why we are going to take maybe 2 or 3 days to update our yearly plan. Then we'll send you through our emails. As we get internet problem, we've decided to work throughout the emails to do first at home, then we send each other the program. After that, we'll share it with you. I don't know if you hear me. You get me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
wow. Okay, so we can also maybe highlight some point we would like to talk about in this year. It's about doing some discussion, yearly discussions about Pan-African ideas, and also um, to, to call for an apply about some articles talking about the AYM vision and also Pan-African vision to get involved all participants in the AYM. And also to let people write some proverbs, for example, to get so much document about the movement and about African ideas. It will be helpful because at the end of the year, we'll share it with the big African Union, the African Unity, We'll share them to show them that we are working on some ideas. And as Aya also asked us to do some researches about the situation in North Africa, East, and also West and Central Africa during the period of 2002 and 2009, what they have got up to now. We can also talk about which generation to make through the African unity and why and how also. So this time, for example, this subject will help us to know our position as youth, and also to let all the people, maybe the head of states or ministers at this moment, to share their ideas and their difficulties in making through the African unity. I think that as we do not have finished our plan, our yearly plan, we are trying to coordinate in our committee. Then after that, we forward you the yearly program. I think it's okay. And something else I wanted to tell you, in our discussion throughout the chats, we would like to ask to Aya to make some ID card, to let people be more um, to let people be facilitated on works or to have an identity wherever they go. They will show that they are member of the African Youth Movement, and it will be easier for them to make some great activities. And I have jumped also one activities we want to do in this year is a great Pan-African activity here in Senegal, for example, through which we can call maybe Aya and some members of the committees to attend it. But it will be a question of funding to bring some people to attend because we'll gather some for some Pan-African networks to attend in this workshop here in Senegal. It will be before December. And I think that will help us to make this activity happen here in Senegal. If we cannot bring all people inside the committees, I think that it will be great to have the chair of the AYM here in Senegal, because we'll do our best to get this activity in this year so that as we are moving on African unity, our ideas be known by people, because we have to make talk a lot about us to the medias, local radios, West African radios, and also the continent, so that they know African Youth Movement is here, but young people also from Africa is sharing great ideas, and they want to do something for African unity. It's a little bit these things we have discussed.
Thank you,
So, waiting for your comment.
Okay, thank you. Since you don't have the year plan ready, and so I think everything is under discussion right now, so I can put forward some ideas, I guess. I would say, since this committee really focuses on the AU, I think it will be very important, and since Maria is actually based in Ethiopia, but she's going to Germany anyway, but still I think she will have some networks, and other members of other committees. It would be nice to have a lobbying group in Ethiopia who are AYM members and who are based in Addis Ababa. So if we want to lobby to have some voice in the AU and be recognized as a group who can bring some recommendations and voice to the AU. I think there is only one or two organizations on Africa level that are recognized groups that attend AU summits as the voice of young Africans. So if we can have a small group or team in Addis Ababa to think about that and to find a strategy to lobby for that, and to have us as a group present all the time in all the AU meetings and summits as the voice of young people. Of course, we don't represent all the voices of Africans, but at least I think through the discussions we move forward every month with the Google Hangouts, we can bring as much recommendations as possible from different voices. So we don't claim to be the voice of everybody, but at least there is a certain number that we're reaching out to. The second thing is something that I mentioned already, so that's at the AU level. At the UN level, I mentioned to you when we talked I think yesterday or the day before, is the resolution on Africa. So inside Africa and in the AU, we have to work on problems we are suffering from. Outside of the AU, we have to work on international level, we have to work on Africa unity and how Africa is presented to the world. Oh, so sorry. And so far, how Africa is presented to the world is North Africa, Middle East, and Sub-Saharan Africa. And that was based on a resolution that was none of the African countries agreed on, but some European countries voted against this. And so Africa was divided into North and Sub-Saharan. So we want to go back to this resolution and bring it back on the table. The other thing is the cards. You mentioned about having cards, right? I don't know about the other members. If they think it's a good idea, why not? We can make some cards and have somebody to design this card. And I think once we have the emails ready and the website and everything, so it could be a very professional card. So yeah, we would put that into consideration to work on it once we have more official like emails and website and everything, representation. And then, yeah, why not? I don't think I could print all the cards from here and ship it to you, but we can make a design of the card, and then everybody can print a certain number of the cards and use them. You know, just change your position and your name, and then use them. So we will make kind of a template for AYM, and then of course we have to know who is using the card. So if you think that would help as chairs and committee chairs, as facilitators, if you think that could bring more representation and recognition, and I know that, yeah, business cards are important in networking, then why not? Let's consider that in the coming weeks. For the, I guess I answered all your concerns, Nasta. Is there anything else? Regarding the conference, you said there is a conference in December in Senegal, and that you want to bring many of the AYM members to it, right? Is Nesta with us? Okay, I don't know if you're hearing me or not, but if that's the case, of course, just let us know what are the dates, and let's put that on the calendar of AYM, and let's see how many members can join in their capacity or representing different NGOs. It would be great if we can bring as many and meet in person as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, you're here.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay. So I say yeah. Before December, something else. You've forgotten to send me the resolution of the AU. Up to now, I did not receive that.
I will send
Let me
it
share
right
with
away.
my. Something else I want to say. I'm about the 16th of this month, and I think that I will meet over there some AYM members. I am invited with the national, the United Nations to attend courses about African, difficulties, African on gender equality, also the peace and security, the courses about what African people are suffering here, and also the problem of leadership in Africa. It will be something like 2 weeks. I'm going over there. So I don't know. You were talking about those people who are in Addis Ababa. I think it will be an opportunity to talk with them. I don't know how to coordinate it. Yeah.
I will coordinate that for you, and I will put you in touch with AYMers in Addis Ababa. Okay?
Oh, okay, thanks. I think it's okay.
Thank you, Nesta. Thank you. Okay, so I think everybody has given feedback, and Francis couldn't join, so we'll take feedback from him later. So the next thing, so that's maybe the thing that will take most time, but all the points on the agenda next are very light. So just a feedback on the members, so that I know who is missing and who is not engaged, and so we can move forward in your work. I know that Lombe needs an Arabic facilitator. So this week I will send you a proposal of 2 or 3 applicants with their CVs, and then you can interview them and select the one you think best fits. And please make sure when you interview people, just explain to them what the work is, so that when they join, they don't be surprised and will be like, oh, I don't know, it's like that and like this, you know what I mean. So I know that Lombi needs an Arabic facilitator. I know that Nesta needs Arabic facilitator, and I think English, right? In English. And I would need I would need Basma. I would need your help, Basma, in networking in North Africa because people are not applying. So I will send you an email regarding this, Basma. Can you hear me? And I would like to hear from the other members. So these are two committees I'm updated about. What about the other committees? What is the feedback on your members? Who is in, who is not? And if you need another selection, please let us know. Maria, is your committee all right?
Okay. Hello?
Yes, I hear you very well.
Okay. Actually, I'm not for
Hello, can you hear
the
me?
opinion that we should change. Yeah, we are actually facing challenges in terms of members' cooperation. Like, I don't know actually who the English facilitator is for the Peace and Security Committee. I spoke with Sandra once, and I gave her the thing. The issue is members don't communicate. That is the major problem we have. If irrespective of the fact that it's a general problem in Africa, communication in the sense of ICT. Like if we have to meet on the internet, do a hangout, we have challenges with network and whatever. But when you send emails to members, nobody reply. You don't know except Charles and I and Sukana, the Arabic facilitator. But I think we should still give them chance to see if they can really communicate. What I'm pleading for members to do is communication. As much I am facing challenges in Addis with internet connection, but whenever somebody writes me, I must reply. In my absence, when I come back and I see the email, I must reply. They should try to reply, because when we don't communicate, we don't know what others think.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what they think. And they always call on Aya, or they want to get feedback on Aya, whereas information has been sent to them and we need their responses and we don't get it. But I think we should maintain them, and I think I plead Aya that you should communicate Ahmed, Musa and Sandra. I don't really know who they are honestly, but you should communicate with them and let them respond to their emails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I will communicate with them and we'll see if they reply or not. And just saying in case, because now we have the meeting, so we need to decide just in case. If they don't reply within, let's say, a week, we need next month to start the Google Hangouts, and they are facilitators. So what would you suggest for that?
Okay. If we give them, like now it's a second chance we are giving them. If we give them a second chance, like in a week, and they don't give us any reply, I think we should change. But what I think we really need in our committee is an IT facilitator. I don't know if you can launch an opportunity for an IT facilitator, honestly. That is what I think we need. Because at times we have the inputs and everything and whatever, but it's left for an IT, somebody who is really into the IT domain to help us and do everything. That is where we have major challenges, sincerely.
Okay, IT
Aya, can I interject?
Yes, please,
Okay.
Isaac.
Yeah, she mentioned she needs an IT facilitator. I don't know if she would, or AYM would like to outsource this to our committee member who is an expert in ICT. Okay. On a more serious note, I could speak to one of my committee members to see if he can come in to help.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yay.
You're welcome.
So, awesome. Thank you, Isaac.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, Maria, that those members that didn't reply, even if we will select another to start working, people who have internet, who can communicate fast, etc., we will keep them in the committee as members. since they have been already selected, and we will see how they can contribute to the group outside of their facilitating positions, so that nobody will feel like, okay, now we are excluded or we were kicked out of the committee. So whatever I'm asking now is those who don't reply, because we need next month to start the facilitation of the sessions. So we need to select this week and have all the committees ready. But those who didn't reply, we will keep them in the committees as members. And then the chair and deputy chair, it's your job to find a way how to, like, have a role in the committee somehow and help. And I'm sure you need more members anyway. So beside peace and security, any other committee having evaluation on the members?
No. I think Maggie said that the facilitators are very competitive and cooperative, and we are trying to get things to done. Even though we sometimes face challenges in communication issues, we still manage it to get through and achieve the goals in the.
So Basma, is Francis, Rachel communicating in the committee?
No, Maggie told me that she sent him more than email and he didn't reply. And she told me to tell you that.
So they are not replying to emails, these two?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I needed to know. And the the French facilitator is replying, right?
Yeah.
Cyril? Guel. So only Rachel and Francis, but the others are communicating.
No, Rachel
right?
is here. No, Rachel is cooperating with us. Only Francis.
Only Francis, okay.
Yeah.
Because I want to know so that I can know who I shall contact. So only Francis.
Only Francis. Yeah.
Okay. The deputy chair, okay. Any other comments from other members?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, Stella, finally.
Hey, sorry about that. I actually managed to move some few things around so I could attend the meeting. But I just wanted to actually comment on what the chairperson of the African Union Committee Matters was talking about. I will be in Addis Ababa in March. So if you wanted me to kind of like meet up with the AYM members in Ethiopia, I would be happy to do that. I'll be there at the beginning of March. So if you need my help in terms of contacting them, I'd be happy to do that. And also I'm also having problems with my committee members in terms of responding to emails. Actually, I think it's just Isaac who's promptly responding to emails and trying to attend meetings as much as possible. The other members are not quite responding as such. Ahmed did try to contact me like in the earlier stages of making the work plan, but he's kind of gone off radar. So I haven't heard from him in ages. He's not even told me what's happening. I don't know if it's an issue of internet or interest in the committee. I'm not quite sure what's happening in that area. And the same goes for Adamo. I actually haven't even spoken to him. I try to arrange meetings so we can talk to him, but he just doesn't seem to be available at all, and he's not responding to emails. So I find that I'm having a problem with that as well.
Okay. So still on your side, I guess we need. So Isaac is okay, but we need French and Arabic facilitators as soon as possible.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. And
thanks for having me.
Okay. Other committees? So Nesta, we talked about this. So Tuffy is on board, but I have to contact Isa and Bashir and an Arabic facilitator, right? Nesta, I can't hear you. Unmute your mic.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Yes, you can contact Bashir. Bashir.
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Bashir, it will be good. But Isa and Betty, I think it's okay, but you can talk with them to try to get more internet connection uh, in the country to prepare themselves for the session we are going to host after.
Okay. Internet.
And
Yeah.
yeah, something else I wanted to say. Who is the chair of the Committee on Gender Equality inside here?
We have Basma here. Maggie is the chair, but we have Basma representing here.
Is she here?
Yeah.
Who is representing? Okay. I would like you or your chair to send me your CV. I will no, I will send you some documents about a workshop that is going to be done in Zimbabwe, I think. It's
Okay.
about gender equality. It's very important. You can send me your email after, and I will send you what you need to apply. It's not complicated at all.
Yeah, please send it to
They
me.
will,
Yes.
okay, after. So you just have to mention through the email my name, Nesta, and I will see because I have a lot of emails. Okay. Do you get my
Okay.
contact?
Okay.
Do you get my contact?
No.
I will
Do you hear
send.
me?
Here's
Yes.
my email.
Okay,
I
it's
sent you my email.
perfect. Okay,
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
that's
Then
right. It's all now.
thank
It's
Okay.
you
all.
so much,
The
Nasta.
deadline is the 20. The deadline is the 20 of this month. Okay,
Okay.
so you have to be cute. Thank you. I
Thank
have
you.
You're
Nasta.
welcome.
Thank you so
given
much.
you.
So for the other committees, is there any like members who are communicating but they have internet problems, especially facilitators, because they will do the hangout? So do you think any member that have really huge internet problem and he is or she is a facilitator?
Aya,
Isaac, yeah.
yes. I also have these problems. Two of my facilitators are working in a remote area with less access to internet. So sometimes it slows down our communication. But I must also comment them if I listen to what other chairs are saying. They respond to their emails, all right, but just that they come in late.
And who
That's it.
are they?
The French and then also the English facilitator.
Okay, so
And
Tina,
I just had yeah,
yes.
I think I wrote the Arabic facilitator an email and copied you.
He's not
Yeah, I just
responding.
since last week, yeah, I just got her replied.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's also a problem communicating with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, though she's new, so I don't know if you've already interacted with her and she's aware of what she's supposed to do. Or,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Isaac.
Welcome.
Um, I would like to, I don't know, Basma, if you hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I would like if you can send me, because we have some applicants from North Africa or Arabic speaking facilitators, but not enough for all the committees. So if you can recommend people who you think would be interested in such position, I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Not only
Okay.
from Egypt, I know you have networks all around North Africa, so if you can
Yeah.
send different nationalities to have as much diversity, that would be great. And then I will contact them and see how to, based on their background and expertise, how to suggest to the committees. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So that's regarding the members. Uh, I just wanted to ask if you think in your committee, because some people or some committees having projects that will not need only facilitators to do online sessions or things like that, do you need other members besides the 5 members that we initially started with? Any committee that feels like we need 1 or 2 more members to help out in our year plan?
I think, yeah, can I speak? Do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I think that in my committee, I need more people to be so that we can, finish our work. I need more people. If I can have 3 or 4 people on my committee, it will be good.
Okay, so Nasta, if you can write me. Okay, can you mute your mic first? Okay, great. If you can write me what are the positions needed and what do you want them to do, then we can launch a call on your committee, okay? So if we can do that in these 2 weeks, just once you finish your year plan and you know what to do what, then you can just write me who are the persons needed and what their role, and then we can launch a call, and then you and your committee will select those people, okay? Regarding the Committee on Governance and Transparency, I met Antonita in Kenya last week, and we were discussing about the committee, and she's like expert in elections, and we were discussing a possibility if you as a committee think that elections are very important and need to be like tackled as another group or a subgroup in your committee. I discussed that with her, so maybe she can explain more to you. Maybe she didn't communicate yet. But the idea was to have, he has a calendar of all the elections happening in Africa, and so we can have members in different countries observing elections or part of that process, and we can have reports so that no country is left. You know, we only talk about elections when it's, you know, some country that had really, oh, we're waiting for these elections. But then there are many elections happening, and there have a lot of, you know, corruption and stuff, and nobody talk about it. So if you think in your community that a subgroup needed of like 3 or 4 people working in this election thing, especially that she travels to all the elections, she will be in Egypt, by the way, Basma. And I connect you with her, and she will go to Lesotho, and she's attending all the different elections observations, I guess. So I think she would be very good in leading a subcommittee in your committee or subgroup that takes care of reporting on elections in Africa, what's happening, etc., etc. So I don't know, Lombi. That was just what I discussed with her. And if you, as a committee, think it's convenient and important, then go ahead for it. Okay.
Okay. I haven't discussed it with her yet. She didn't tell me. She told me she met you, but she didn't tell me about the idea. It sounds brilliant. So I think we'll just need to discuss it as a committee, and then I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. Then, third point, I think you talked about the challenges. If we can talk about improvement and collaboration between committees. I know that the Stella and Isaac have been collaborating, and now I can see Stella and Nasta will be collaborating, and that's great. So the next point is just to talk about improvement. What do you think other mechanisms we can improve with it, and in terms of collaboration among the committees? The floor is yours. Suggestions, comments. What do you think?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, I'm in a bit of a noisy place, but what I just wanted to say was that maybe the facilitators just need to be told what is expected of them again, because in my committee I feel like the people don't quite know what is expected of them. I went to ask them for their yearly calendars, and they had no idea what I was talking about. So I don't feel like they know what they are supposed to be doing. So if you could just kind of like clarify in that, I think it would be really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in a very noisy place right now.
No, we don't need any noise actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Clean.
Yeah, so that's basically it. I think in particular my committee members just need clarification on what is expected of them and what they are supposed to be doing, because I don't think they quite understand it yet.
So Stella, regarding your committee, as I said, I will send you like a couple of suggestions of applicants, and then as I said, when you interview to choose among 3 or 4 people, make sure you make them understand their role so that after they are selected, they don't start questioning you about different things. Just in the interview, make sure they understand what is it and if they're up for it. And then you can select one of the 3 or 4 people.
Okay, brilliant. I can do that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
Yeah. Hello, Aya.
Yes, Maria.
What I suggest is I was so impressed this morning when I read an email from, I don't know the committee, but they did a video and sent. I think one thing we can improve on collaboration, it's since most people have the challenge of internet and everything, members can make like a small video and send to the chairs or the deputies so that we should have an update of what is supposed to be done, especially the facilitators. That's what I think it can improve collaboration. Because at times you get someone, the person will say, oh, I don't have internet access, I don't have this, I don't have that. And it's difficult, you know. But I was so impressed with like somebody say, we have a video online, you can trace it. So I encourage members of the Peace and Security Committee to also do that as well.
Great, thank you, Maria. Actually, that was Stella. I know not everybody very fast and prompt like Stella, but that's a great idea. If you and your committees can suggest that as a tool of communication with your members, but the ones we will select now as facilitators especially, we will make sure they have good internet, because that was a requirement actually, but I was surprised that later on many of them have internet issues. Any other ideas, improvements?
Can I go on, Naya?
Yeah, go on.
I think another thing is members should be consciousness, you know. I don't know how to put it in English because I'm kind of French, but I think we should be conscious when you engage into something. I think you should put all your efforts and everything to make sure that this movement moves. That's just it. Personal efforts and personal consciousness. That is what I think it can. Sacrificing it's the most important thing, because I know everybody in AYM is busy in one way or the other. If you want to list the activities of each member, you won't even meet to the commitments of AYM. But the fact that we have been selected and we accepted, I think we should commit ourselves to it. That is the only solution, I think so. Nothing else.
Thank you, Maria.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to compliment on the issue of like network. For example, in the Committee of Environment and the Sustainable Development, we've been having challenges like to get in cross touch with the like my deputy, the vice chairperson in Ethiopia. Most of the times they have very poor internet, and it becomes a challenge like to bring him in to bring her in the meeting, and maybe the idea of uploading like a video and following it up, yeah, I think it can help. But on the same, I think we really need to be committed, looking at the capacity of the movement. I think it's quite important if everyone can be committed to the vision of the movement. Of course, I've missed most of the things, but I think I'll be able to develop a video of an update about our committee, like what we have done, what we've discussed, so that other members can also access it. But otherwise, I think it's really high time we need to be committed, and we need to collaborate together, because there might be other people who have got great potential or connections for a different committee. So when we collaborate, we can have a collective effort, and that can help to achieve more things. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so that was Francis, right? Thank you. And you will have the meeting recorded so you can see the part that you missed. And a video of you updating us on your committee, that would be great. And as I said, that's why I share all the committee's work with everybody on the mailing list so that you know who is doing what. And please have a look at other committees' work and see where you can contribute or collaborate or help or support. So now we come to updates from my side. So for the website.
Sorry, can I suggest something?
Yes, Basma, go ahead.
Sorry, I suggest we get a chair to talk to each other on our